I was on patrol in the northeast district of Polk County, Poinciana to be specifically, and another deputy was dispatched to a call to assist Polk County Emergency Medical Services with a patient that was reported to be possibly suicidal, abnormal behavior, possibly violent. The information that we received was this particular patient was telling his parents that he was going to kill anyone in the house, and he continued to pace around. Then he went out into the street and told his parents that he would kill anyone he came in contact with on the street. I walked up and was trying to get the background story on what was going on, and I looked over and I could see a gentleman looking out the window of a house at me, and he continued to look, and I found out that that was their son, and I found out his name. His name was Nelson, and I learned he was 21 years old and schizophrenic. And it was just literally seconds later I could hear loud talking, yelling inside the house. I didn't know who he was talking to or what he was yelling at, and then the front door burst open. And he comes running outside screaming, "What are all y'all cops doing here?" And I was concerned that he was going to go back inside the house and barricade himself, and I knew that he needed to be taken to the hospital, you know, under the Baker Act for involuntary examination. So I wrapped my arms around him in a bear hug type hold. It was about that time I heard Deputy Marin yelling, "Gun, gun, gun." At that point, she deployed her taser, and I didn't realize it at the time, but one probe hit me in the lower leg, and one probe hit Nelson. So we were both feeling the effects of the taser, and we just both kind of collapsed down onto the sidewalk with me on top of him, but his hands were still underneath him. Well, the 5-second cycle of the taser ended, and that was the first time that I saw this gun. He came from underneath his lower body with a silver handgun, and he was trying to point the barrel of it back toward my head. And I could see that the hammer on the handgun was already cocked. I slid my hand down the frame of the gun because the hammer was back, and I put the area between my thumb and forefinger between the frame and the hammer, hoping that if he did pull the trigger, that the hammer would hit flesh and not the firing pin. And it was at that point that I got full control of the gun, and I was able to kind of toss it toward Deputy Marin's feet. And afterwards, you know, the taser cycle had ended, and I was able to sit up on his back and try to start getting him restrained, and other deputies came around and helped me get him handcuffed, and you know, that's where it all ended at. A lot of things went through my mind during the incident. I thought about my family. I thought about my children, and all this happened so quick. And that day, it hadn't really set in of just how close I came to being killed until that night. That night, whenever I got ready for bed, I actually just thought about how short life can be. It gave me an appreciation for life, for still being alive. It gave me an appreciation for everything all the blessings that I have. But, you know, it also was a reminder of just how dangerous being a deputy sheriff is.